Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen,
Hi, I'm Mike Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Man.
and you're watching AFK, the AFK show, our favorite show on the planet.
One of.
One of. So you're watching the right show. Keep watching, and keep watching.
And keep watching. And keep watching. Don't stop.
So, without further ado, I would like to introduce a trio of people that made my childhood incredibly awesome.
And
I remember, and everyone's. I remember each year when the Toys R Us toy catalog would come through for Christmas, I would just circle every single Power Rangers toy that came through there, hand it to my mom, and go, please. So, anyway, without further ado, I would like to introduce Walter Jones, David Fielding, and Karan Ashley. Give it up for the Power Rangers, everybody.
Woo! Yeah! Go, go, Power Rangers!
1, 2, 3.
Yes!
On. Hello? Check 1, 2. Oh, there we are. Aha. What's up, Waco? How y'all doing today?
Yeah! Woo!
We are small, but we are mighty. What's up, Waco?
Yeah! Go Texas!
What time is it?
Ooh, it's our
That's right.
time.
Come on, y'all got to do better than that.
Yeah, do way better than that.
Anybody know what time it is?
It's morphin' time!
Yeah.
That's right. We're waking up now. Mastodon, there you go.
You guys enjoying Waco so far? It's been kind of entertaining this weekend.
Oh, yeah. We're
So
having
far?
a great time.
All right. I think
Thank you, Waco.
the first question I want to ask, as everyone keeps filing in here, just individually, how did you guys come into the role? How did you first find out about the opening, go to the audition, and how that process take place?
I was actually already working as an actor. I've been doing theater and a number of other things, and had an agent who was trying to get me into television shows and so forth. I'd done some videos, and I got a call. I was actually on the way to go do a show in Florida called, I forgot the name of the show just now. Star Search. Thank you. Yes.
Good thing
Star
you told me
Search
this story the other
with
day.
Ed McMahon, and I got the call, and I was unable to attend the audition. And then when I came back to LA, they said, "Hey, they still want to see you." So after about 4 or 5 auditions, that's auditions and callbacks, I booked the role.
Yeah. For me, I actually had read about it. I grew up in Dallas, so very close to here. Yeah.
Dallas.
Texas girl, originally from Odessa. But I'd heard about it. A friend of mine said, hey, there's this new TV show. You got to have heard of it. You know, it's called Power Rangers, and I had no clue. But she was like, you should go. You know, they're looking for really young actors. You need to be a dancer, a gymnast, or a martial artist. And it's a big open call, and I get there, and there are thousands of people at this audition, and literally, so I auditioned like 30 seconds, and they said, well, can you come back this afternoon? And I was super excited. Came back, and then probably 3 days later, they called and said, hey, we want you to come to LA and audition for the producers. And I was like, oh my God. And I did that, and literally 4 days later, my life was changed. I moved to LA, and I became a Power Ranger. So,
awesome.
Yeah, nice. Little girl from Odessa.
I had graduated from the Master of Fine Arts in Theater program at the University of Pittsburgh in the summer of 1992. I moved out to Los Angeles. Had been living there for about a month and a half when I got a phone call from my friend Stacy Fish, who worked at Saban at the time as an assistant director on some of their other projects. Said they were having an audition for a kids' television pilot. So I went down to the Saban building thinking it was going to be an audition with 500 other people. I would read lines, go home, and never hear anything. But when I got there, it was just me and another gentleman. And come to find out that they were going to film very quickly. And after that night, I got a phone call saying I got the part, and we filmed like the next week and a half. So I was probably the last character cast when we shot the pilot. So.
Did you have hair at the time?
I did have hair, and they shaved me bald, so that probably led to why I look now.
Talk about sacrifice.
Did we see you
quit.
with hair? I mean, I think I can recall you having to cut your hair and us working with you at one point.
Right. The first time we met was at the audition, and I stood up on a table in front of you guys and read all the lines.
That's right.
And then the next time we met was the day that I filmed, and I came out slathered in green paint and had all my hair cut off, and you guys were like,
whoa, what happened? Whoa.
Dude, you're like, they made me cut my hair. He had you had long hair too, didn't you? Or?
Yeah, it was down to here.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, see what Zordon did for all of you.
See?
Come on, give him a round of applause.
You would never do you wrong.
It was sort of a reverse Samson. I gained a lot of strength once all my hair came off. So.
Did you guys ever think when the pilot first started, when filming first started, that the show and the following would get as big as it has?
Well, I went home from after the day that I filmed, and there were a couple of people saying, well, we'll call you when it gets to be a series. And I was like, yeah, sure, okay. And once it got picked up, I thought we might have had the idea that, it was going to be pretty big as far as the toys and stuff were concerned. But I don't think anybody ever considered the fact that it was going to last for 20 years, 20 seasons or something like that. So.
And counting.
And counting.
Yeah, when the show started doing well, when we did the pilot and then they got picked up for episodes and we were going to do 40 episodes, I think within the first week, because the show in California was on every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And after our first or second week, the producers were walking around all excited, smiles on their faces, tapping each other on the back, and they're like, yeah, we're doing well, we're really well. We're the #1 rated show. We got the highest ratings of any other show. And it was like, we were new to TV, so we were like, okay, that's exciting, that's cool. Yeah, we got a hit show, it's doing well. And after the first season with the toys and the news and starting to do appearances, we did this one big appearance at Universal Studios where we packed a 6,000 person stadium like 6 times in a day. And it was crazy. It was like, it was supposed to be one show in a little small arena, and then they changed it to fit the people, and the people just kept coming. So it was like, it was this amazing thing, and we thought, wow, this is bigger than we thought, and then it turns out the show was in 40 countries around the world, and that itself really kind of made a testament to what the possibilities of the show was going to be. But I don't think any of us knew that 20 years later we still have,
we'd be sitting at a table in Waco, Texas, talking about the show.
Right, no, totally, because I came on the show, it was a hit show, and even then, knowing that it was already a hit, finding out quickly how much people loved these guys and just loved the franchise. Yeah, 20 years later, I never thought I'd still be talking about Power Rangers. So it's such an amazing blessing to have,
It's also crazy too because I've done a lot of other work. I've worked. I got 20 years in the industry as an actor.
Nobody
so
cares
I've
about
done
that
everything
stuff.
from CSI to The Shield to Moesha, all kinds of shows. But then I can tell people see me all the time and they recognize me. Hey, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, maybe it was The Shield.
You think it's something new, and they're like,
was it
something
Prime
else.
Suspect? No. Was it this CSI? No.
No.
It was like, I was one of the Power Rangers. That's it! You the Power Rangers!
You!
I'm like, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I guess you can only be a superhero. I mean, being a superhero is a lot cooler than, a lot of things, so.
It's a lot cooler than pushing a cord for a living.
Exactly.
Well, how supportive of the endeavor were your families, like when you first started, going through the audition and getting the part and everything?
My family was amazing. They knew from the time I was able to talk, all I would talk about was being on TV or people would ask me, what are you going to be when you grow up, little girl? And I'd be like, a singer, dancer, actress, model, choreographer, producer. And they were like, okay. Or I'd go, I'm going to be Janet Jackson or, whoever it was at the time that was amazing. So no, my family has always been amazingly supportive. And they, when at one point I kind of took a break from the industry and came back to Texas and was like, I kind of need to get my mind right and just, do me for a second. And they were like, when are you going back? Because you don't belong here. You belong in Hollywood and you need to go live your dream. So I knew right then, I was like, okay, I know how much they miss me and they want me to leave, this is true support. So.
Yeah, my family's very supportive as well. I got a scholarship to go to university from Detroit, and I think everybody was kind of fearful. Detroit, I grew up in Detroit. They were fearful of me going so far away and pursuing this larger dream of a television movie career, being an actor, because it seems so far away. It's like, who can do that? Only special people can be on TV, and I was told by my family, they were kind of like, well, whatever you do, we're behind you, and if it doesn't work out,
you can always come back home,
you can always
honey.
come back, we got you, kind of thing. And then when I got the Power Rangers and they saw the pilot, not the very first pilot, which is called the
Some of you have seen
Forgotten
it.
Episode,
A lot
right?
of you have seen it, I'm sure.
They saw the pilot and they were like, "Oh, that's nice." No, I mean, that's
Bless
a stepping
your
stone.
heart.
It's a stepping stone. That's good. I mean, like, it's your first, And I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, the show blew up, and they're like, yeah, that's my nephew. Yeah, that's my nephew.
dog.
That's my son. My dad was the biggest fan. He was walking around. He made one of those. He made a backdrop. It was like the Black Ranger of Detroit, and I'm sitting on the ledge like this, and he's like, he would take pictures with it himself. I was like, okay.
Right.
I'm the Black Ranger's dad.
I go home and like
cute.
my mom and my dad, like we'll go eat at Red Lobster or something. And next thing I know, my dad's like giving pictures, autographed pictures to like the waiters and waitresses. And I'm like, Dad, shh.
Exactly.
Like, we're trying to just have a peaceful meal here.
Yeah, my parents were very supportive of me as well. I mean, they live in Paris, Texas, so I'm driving there later this afternoon. So,
Go Texas.
Paris.
All right. Well, I'm sure you guys have seen it from a couple of weeks ago. There was that fan video that just kind of blew up on the internet. The
Don't know if
alternate
y'all
reality
heard about
future.
it or not
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
It's maybe a touchy
You guys
subject for
didn't
some.
hear
It's so
about it,
different.
did you?
Well, a little bit of backstory is basically a director put together a small amount of money, and they put together a sort of a reimagining of what the Power Rangers were, and it was a lot more gritty and a lot more dark.
That's an understatement.
It was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I was gonna say, and it was like a nice budget. They did it like
It had James Vanderbeek in it. Don't say who, like you don't know who
Dawson.
Dawson is.
Katie
Okay,
Sackhoff.
I don't want to hear
Dawson.
that.
It was actually entertaining. I mean, I can't say that I was not entertained. I never thought I'd see Power Rangers in such a way. And I actually liked his character the best. It was interesting for us that are older and have grown up, since Power Rangers, because we were kids too when we did it. But for kids, I kind of, I think we all kind of had the same feeling. Like, it's definitely not a kid's version. So I think it's cool because I don't know that the Lionsgate or Saban would ever do anything that gritty and that.
Would never.
Never. So it's almost like the fans that are adults now, they kind of got what they've been wanting. So it's kind of, yay, they kind of got a taste of that. But I'm sure the Lionsgate movie will be family friendly.
Tell us more about what you're talking about right now, the Lionsgate movie.
Well, it was announced, last year? That they're going to do a reboot of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie.
Woo!
And yeah. And so I think it's fantastic. I know that fans have been so supportive of the franchise, and I'm so happy that they've decided to do a movie. And then I'm also super excited that they picked Mighty Morphin. Like, Mighty Morphin is where it all started.
That's the original.
And I was blessed to be in the movie back then, 20 years ago. And so now, I'm so happy you guys get it again. And I'm sure they're going to do a fantastic job. It would
By
be even
chance you haven't seen it, it
greater
is on
if they
Netflix.
put us all in it. Like,
Yeah, right.
but we don't know anything about that. But, but still, it's great because I know you guys have wanted it for a long time. So.
I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see what
Yeah.
they do with it. Hopefully they give it the same sort of treatment as the first Transformers, and then, the first Transformers.
Yeah, right? The first Transformers was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be competitive to something like that. I'm sure.
Yeah, and then, all right, now we're going to open up the floor to questions. Did you guys have anything that you wanted to ask your Power Ranger people up here?
Just raise a hand. Shay will sprint on
Yep.
over.
You raise your hand, and I'll point at you, and then I'll come to you and summon me.
Hi.
Hi, Wonder Woman.
Jeez, that's loud. My question, I want to ask all of y'all a million questions, but I can't. So I picked one. This is for Miss Ashley. I was wondering if you still remembered the words to Angel Grove High, and if you did, would you sing them with me?
Yeah? Angel Grove High?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where's Catherine Sutherland when I need her? I know. I'm like, whoa. Something about.
I'll start.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I'll join in.
I need some clapping, though.
Come on.
Can I come up here with you?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. Just clap. Here we fly at
Angel Grove High.
and here we rise at
Angel Grove High.
and we'll take on all the limits and the obstacles and the roads ahead, the ways ahead. They're always bright. Angel Grove High.
Everybody.
Angel Grove High. Angel Grove High. Angel Grove High. Thank you
That
very
is
much.
a first.
Thank you.
That is the first.
We won. I know. We won the song contest for Angel Grove. We wrote the Angel Grove song. Me and Catherine. Yeah.
Nice.
Have you ever heard that?
I'm gonna have to Google that later.
Woo! Blast from the past. Good lead. Good lead,
Cross that one off my
Beyonce.
bucket list.
Good lead, Beyonce.
Okay, my question is for Walter. I know you wasn't in the Power Rangers movie, but had you been in the
should
Power
have
Rangers
been.
movie?
He should have been.
Everyone else was getting Zords like bears, falcons, and wolves. What would your reaction have been knowing you would get a frog?
Probably the same as Johnny Bosch's.
Exactly. I know Johnny Bosch's was like, okay, I'm a frog, right? I know that was his reaction. I probably would have been the same way, but, I'd have made the best out of it. It's like, all right, well, there's a saying, if you feel froggy, leap. And so, we would have worked it out.
Yeah, it would have been cool though, because if you can make a turtle a superhero, he would have did some things with the frog, right?
I had hoppers. I'd have been jumping all over the place. Here we go.
Question I had was, since you guys were the originals, what are your thoughts on the evolution of how the Power Rangers line has gone since then?
Well, from the very beginning when we put the show together, we didn't really know how long we would be on the show, or we didn't know that the show would go on. We knew that it would run in Japan for 20 years. So, and we weren't that informed about the evolutions of the costumes and the changes of the Zords and so forth. When we first lost the Zords the first time and we had to change them, it was shocking to us. We were like, we're losing our Zords? We got to get a different Zord? Oh, man, I love that Zord. Yeah. It's like my other car is a Mastodon. You know what I mean? It's so what I see now with all the other generations of Power Rangers is I'm just really happy that they still cater to kids, and that it's a show that that kids are drawn to, and that they can continue the legacy of being role models for the world of children. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I've watched a number of episodes of Dino Charge, the season that came out this year, and I really enjoyed it. I think it really captured the feeling that we had from the first season, especially since it's all dinosaur themed. But the cast that they have has the same sort of exuberance that they had in the first season, so I really enjoyed it.
Really nice people too.
Yep.
The thing is, I didn't watch really when I was on, because it's really weird when you watch yourself on TV and just hear your voice and see yourself, and you're very critical, especially think of it's like you're having your first job. You're very critical of what you did way back then. But all the people that I've met, we've gotten to get to know them through the beautiful life of conventions, and they're all amazing people. I've not met one Power Ranger I didn't like, so I'm really excited as well that it's been able to keep going, and some amazing people have got some amazing opportunities from the same opportunity we had 20 years ago, so it's pretty cool.
She said she didn't like to watch herself on TV, but I like watching her on TV. She's cute. Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's why they kept us apart. It'd have been trouble. Zach and Aisha would have been. They were like, okay, wait. Tommy and Kimberly, who?
We'd have been making our own songs, exactly.
We'd have been dancing. We'd have been acting like we acted
Exactly.
cons, like
You guys
silly.
would have given that romantic angle a run for its money.
Oh,
There
heck
you
yeah.
go.
It stole them storylines.
All right, first off, Walter, I did love you in Brink.
Thank you, brother. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Soul Skater.
Also, like, whenever you guys were shooting, were there like ever any like real goofy like things that you guys did behind the scenes or accidents, like maybe the fighting accidentally hit each other or something?
Oh, the accidents were never funny.
Right.
I recall one time having a fight, a guy, he was in a putty suit.
Poor putties.
Yeah, the guys that were our stunt guys that fought as putties and so forth, they were amazing. They great group of guys. I mean, some of them were at the top, in their martial art field, like like wushu. The guy, his name was Richard Brandon. He was on the front of every magazine, and he's a putty during the day, and this amazing martial artist during the evening. Anyway, we were fighting, and we had to do this fight, and a lot of times when we choreographed the fights, it was fast. It was like, all right, we got a half hour, we got to do this fight in a half hour. So I got 3 putties, exactly. Go over there and practice, and it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this, so we'll do this and do this, and we go through it and like try to work it out. And I had to do this stunt where I knock a putty to the ground and I punch him in the stomach. And when I punch him in the stomach, he would come up and then I hit him in the face to knock him back down. It's supposed to be funny, right? It's like boom, boom, that kind of thing. Well, I hit him in the stomach and he came up a little too far. And I caught him in the face and he's under the mask as a putty. So I felt the connection and I was like, ooh, and I almost wanted to stop, but the camera's rolling and they're like, keep going. I'm like, but he's on the, the putties when we would hit him, they would like kind of go, kind of thing. But he was really on the ground going, and they're like, cut. And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And I broke his nose. I was like, ouch. I was like, oh man. So that was like one of the examples of a mistake that happened. That wasn't so funny, but it's funny to laugh about now.
Yes.
I'm like, he was okay. Oh, we got a Ninja Turtle in the house. Watch out.
Is that the take you use? The one where you broke his nose?
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is, probably. And
They always pick the
and he was
takes
like,
most realistic.
His lawyer's pointing at it in court, like, right here is a real broken nose.
that's it, exactly.
I was just gonna say, first off, I mean, Power Rangers for me, I grew up since episode 1. I saw all the original series and even the movie and everything. I mean, longtime fan.
I think we all have.
But anyway, back in 2010, they kind of re-showed the original series. I think the first few seasons. And I was just gonna ask, like, how you feel about A, them doing that, and B, kind of seeing that new generation come in and know who you guys are, instead of thinking, oh yeah, he's just the Black Ranger from way back when.
Right. No, it's cool.
It's awesome. I mean, to have another life within this whole thing, I mean, it was so amazing. I mean, we get a life with you guys, the older generation. Like our first generation of Power Ranger fans you're now grown with kids, and now your kids are coming in and they're seeing it as well. I'm glad it made it possible, like through Netflix, through the DVD releases, and through re-airing them on television, for them to know the beginning of the origin, and then now to also enjoy the new origin. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
It's a blessing. I mean, the reality is it's when we first did the show, I don't know that we really, you never know the magnitude of being on a #1 show. Like, that's just kind of words. And then now getting to meet you guys, and you're older, and people articulate what the show really meant to them. And then now they're sharing it with their kids, and it's something you do as a family. It's like, my little nephew is here, and his mom I remember being at the premiere of the movie, and she was there. And then him growing up, it's like he reestablished my love for something I did 20 years ago, because he's just like he didn't know whether it was real or fake or what the heck. Like, how are you there and here? So, I mean, it's just one of those really cool things. It's definitely really tasty icing on the cake of what we've done,
Absolutely.
Which was your favorite episode to record, each of you?
That's hard.
We did one episode called Food Fight. That was just the craziest.
That sounds fun.
It was the
I
craziest
wasn't there,
day
but I
ever.
wish I was.
Oh my God, we were. everybody had to be prepared that day because we walked in and you knew something was going on. We walked in and everybody's wearing a plastic bag over them. And we're like,
They knew you guys.
oh yeah,
They
this is
knew
gonna be
you.
a good day. Exactly. So we shot that episode and talk about filming a food fight because it really was a food fight. Nobody was safe. I think we went from the production stage up into the offices like.
It's
I
like
got
finally
mine. Yeah, it was
that
like-
5 a.m. call you gave me the
Oh
other
my
day.
gosh, exactly. So nobody was safe that day, and that was a really fun episode to shoot.
Yeah. Gosh, I change my mind every week. My favorite episode today is the one I sang Angel Grove High in.
There you go. There you go.
That actually brought back a lot of memories. Like I remember we went to they made us go to a studio out in Catherine and I were so new to LA, but we had to go to a studio in LA and we were in a recording studio singing this song. And we actually didn't like the song, but after it was done, we liked it a lot. So it was really funny.
It sounds kind of cliche,
No, it's good. Now I love it.
Due to the unfortunate circumstance that they only filmed Zordon one time, my favorite episode is always the first one.
Hello.
Yeah.
Because that's the first time that Zordon actually calls them the Power Rangers, gives them their powers, and you actually see the evolution of them going from these really nice kids at Angel Grove, but then accepting the responsibility to step forward and say, okay, we're going to be the defenders now. So for me, that's always the best episode.
Yep. That's Zordon.
Ghost voice from
Yeah,
backstage.
absolutely. And if you have a question, just raise your hand and flag me down, and I'll come to you.
Actually, it's two of them. Mr. Jones, Family Matters.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to say. Because we're a fan of Family Matters also.
Yay.
Mr. Fielding, in the movie Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that was you laying there. When
No, that was not.
I didn't think so.
No.
Why wasn't it you?
I had gotten a phone call when they were going to film in Los Angeles, and then there was a decision made by Saban for monetary reasons to film in Australia because it was cheaper to film there. So they cast Nicholas Bell as the character. Although I think Robert Manahan was still voicing the character inside the tube, it was Nicholas Bell who was laying on the bed, the crystal bed.
Yeah, just another backstory to that. A lot of the voiceover actors had to fight to be the voices in the movie because for whatever reason they didn't want to use, Barbara Goodson, Kerrigan, they didn't want to use them as voices and they wanted to replace them. But luckily, they were able to fight and get what they deserved, which was the movie, and get to actually do the voice. It
Right.
could have been a different Rita voice or a different, So yeah. Yeah.
All right, we have a question
right
right
up
here.
The Ninja Turtle.
Do you have any movies of it?
Yeah, I do. I've got the movies, and I was very lucky because when I left the TV show, they sent me every single episode I did. So I've got them. And then when they re-released them with Shout Factory, they actually gave us each the box set. So we got some Power Ranger episodes at home.
Yep,
Lots of
sure
them.
do.
I actually have the original shooting script that we did for Day of the Dumpster when we shot the pilot, and I have that. And
Nice.
These guys have been very nice to sign it for me, so it's very awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One more question.
Can you say a line from the movie?
Oh, can I say the line from the movie? Time to boogie with the bear. Is that the one? He's like, thanks.
That's got great alliteration.
My question's for Zordon. Were you satisfied with it being Andros was the one that destroyed your character?
Correct.
Would you rather wanted it to be a different Ranger, or were you okay with Andros being?
Well, I really think that the writers did a nice job as far as handling how they wanted the character to exit the series, and the sacrifice that the character made, I think, really sort of speaks to the respect that the writers had for all of the characters. I mean, and also trying to convey that message to the people who are watching the show that if you want to do good, you have to sometimes do, the ultimate thing, which is, give up your life or whatever. And so I think the writers did a really good job with that. And I got a chance to meet Christopher Kamen Lee this past August at Power Morphicon. And the first time he saw me, he's like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry I killed you." I was like, no, for the greater good. It was for the greater good.
You talked about the killing part. What was your saddest episode that you were a part of? For each
The
of you?
saddest?
Saddest
episode?
Don't cry
For me, it was the first one because they only filmed me one time.
Well, for me, it was when I had decided, obviously, everybody, not to get all into the drama of the show, but everybody knows Power Ranger wasn't the highest paid gig. So anyways, when I had decided to leave the show, I had this long meeting, and they were like, "We're going to do 10 episodes. We're going to write Aisha out, and the fans have really come to love her, and we're going to really, do it right." And I was super excited, and I thought, okay, that's the best way to do it. And then the next time I went to work, that was my last day. So that was the saddest episode, because I didn't know that that's how it would end, And for me, it was like, I just gave you a year and a half of my life, and it was that easily like, bye-bye. It was one of those things. So that's Hollywood for you, though.
Did you go to a peace treaty?
I went to Africa.
Oh, yeah. There's peace there, too. That's good.
Yeah.
I think the saddest episode, or maybe for us was, or for me, was the episode where we lost our Zords for the first time. It was like really saying goodbye to them, and it was a big cliffhanger. It was like, in that episode, it looked like that was the end of all of us. Like, oh my gosh, they fell to the middle of the earth, and they just were gone. And we're like, tune in to tomorrow and see what happens. It was like, that was a pretty upsetting episode. I mean, for all of us just to be in that moment and to think that we,
He's like, yeah.
as the characters, even as the actors, as being an actor, Zach, and to believe that, man, he's gone. Like, that moment was a sad moment. Probably the saddest moment that we had, I think, in my episodes.
This would be for the two Rangers, I guess. Did you all do your own stunts, or did you ever have stunt doubles, or how did that work?
Thank God, yes, we had stunt doubles. No. We did. I was a dancer. And back in the day, when we were on the show, the beautiful part was we did civilian fights. And you guys remember, beginning of the show, we had a fight where we were ourselves. We didn't morph, so those fights were so much fun. We got to do, I got to do things that I'd never done before, and it was amazing. But yeah, I had two Yellow Rangers, and I mean, the female her name was Bridget, and she was like the kickboxing champion of the world. And then this other guy, a Japanese guy, was he was the coldest Japanese guy out of the whole team. Like, he was honestly the most amazing martial artist. So they really made us look good, and we were always behind schedule. We would shoot anywhere from two to three episodes a week, which usually shows only shoot one a week. So we're up against the clock, and we'd be shooting here at the park, and they'd be shooting over here, and everything would be going on just so that we could have an episode every day for you guys. So, but yeah, we did have stunt doubles.
Yeah, we had stunt doubles as well, but not much. Like in the very first season, it was mostly us, and then there was Japanese footage. So we didn't have a lot of people in the suits working with us at the time. We just had. It was like half American footage, half Japanese footage. So we did a lot of transitional stuff in the suits and did very little fighting, because we fight a little bit and then we take off the helmets and we talk. Otherwise, the jumping off the roofs and all that stuff, that was all Japanese footage. But so the stunts we did, anything you saw us do, we did, and there was nobody else to do it. So they were pretty crafty about making things look the way they wanted to. There was one episode where I do this Japanese spin, and Japanese spin is where you jump in the air, you spin horizontally, and you come out of it on one leg and go down to a knee in a fighting stance kind of thing. Now, I was never able to do that move. I mean, that was a really cool move, but we did one episode where I jumped off of like a kid's play set, like
Mini tramp?
from a platform. No, I jumped off the platform. I did a Hong Kong spin, and I did like 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was supposed to land down on my leg. And what they did is they put them out on the ground. So I did the 4 spins. I landed like on the mat, and then they did another one where I did a half spin and I landed on my knee. So they put the 2 together and made it look like I'd done 4.
They made us look
and I landed on my leg.
good.
Yeah. So, that was a stunt that I did, and I didn't have a double. There was, I think, the most impressive stunt I think I ever did on that show was one where I had 2 putties chasing me. We're playing on the swing sets. We're always around the swings, right? And there's a putty standing in front of the swings, and I run and I dive through the chains of the swing. I do a front flip. I go over the putty, front flip through the chains, land over the putty, turn around and kick the putty into the swing. He hits this putty running behind him. So, right, that's the stunt. Technical, because I got to run, I got to dive through, get through the chains, do a flip, land, kick, make him land and hit the other guy. Well, the first time I did it, my foot got caught in the chain, so I was like, and I'm all hanging. Hey guys,
I'd have been like, Bridget, come do this.
And the second time I did it, but then even then, like the way it was covered, you could barely see what I'd done. It was like you didn't really see. I was like, all the effort,
all that,
and you couldn't really tell. It was like it looked like nothing. I was like, oh man, for real.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fun.
That's
I love
funny.
that part.
I did my own stunts. I was great.
Yeah. Floating in the air is a hard job.
He had to cut his hair. I'm telling you, it was like
That is rough for one episode. You to shave your head. I couldn't even imagine.
Isn't that crazy?
That's hardcore.
Couple hours of shooting, and they use it for years and years and years.
Yeah, I was definitely like 20 something when I realized that it wasn't you guys 100% in the first. It blew my mind. It was like, devastating.
Sorry.
Kind of got 2, if y'all don't mind. This first one kind of piggybacks off the last one. Like, I was doing all this stuff, especially around the second season when they did a lot more unmoored fights. Like, Walt is yours, especially in that episode of the Round Blaster where you ran, did a front flip, roundhouse, 3 putties, and then did a spinning drop kick. And I'm like,
Very
you
specific.
guys still even able to do that? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Could I still do that? I could do some of it. I couldn't do all of it. I mean, obviously, as you get older, things hurt a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still flip, but I'll do it into the pool. I'm like, that's easy.
Yeah.
And the second one's like, you guys had like all this merchandise, especially like way back in the prime, like the 90s, like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Have you guys ever like played with the toys or played the video games?
I didn't get the toys until recently. Like, they didn't give us any of that stuff. We didn't get any gifts, or we didn't know. Half the stuff we didn't even know came out. So not until recently, fans have given me all kinds of really cool collectibles, and I have everything. So now I have a collection, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't get the toys either. And
we had to go buy our own stuff.
It wasn't until recently that I actually played the video game. One of the fans at one of the cons had it on a little mobile thing and was like,
yeah.
Hey, you want to play yourself? I was like, yeah. and people were like, can I get ours? Hold on, almost okay.
Right. Right.
Get the putty. Get over. I got him, So.
I've got a quick question as she's going. Walter, you also did, in addition to playing Zach, you did a lot of voiceover work as well for the show, didn't you?
Well,
Could you elaborate on that?
I did a few monsters on the show, and that was cool. It was a thing where basically they called me up and said, "Hey, it was a Forever Red episode. Hey, we got a bunch of Rangers coming back for this, and hey, you want to be a monster?" And I was like, yeah. So I got to come in and voice one of the monsters. I mean, I do a lot of voiceover work, so it was just a fun thing,
Cool.
Yeah. All
We're not
right.
done here?
Coming up for our last question before the end
last
of this
question.
Oh, I know
and
already.
answer panel. And it's all the way across the room.
No pressure, last question.
What did you... Do you guys still remember the lines, like when you started morphing? It's morphing time, and started doing that. I was wondering if you guys remember what you said, if you can do that.
I said a couple of things. Like, you mean saber-tooth tiger, Griffin Thundersword power?
Exactly.
And I was like, Mastodon! That was me.
Right. By that time, they gave us like 8 Zords. Like,
Yeah,
they didn't want them to forget about the other stuff.
In the second season, I had another thing, but I wasn't there long enough to keep saying it, so I don't remember. I think it was lion. I think it was like Mastodon, lion, thunder, Zord.
Yeah,
something like
something.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had so many different ones because you'd go in one day and like say it, and then I forgot. Like they'd go say Yellow Ranger power, saber-tooth tiger, Griffin Thundersword. Like we did that, and if you notice in the episodes, my hair would change. Like I'd have braids, and then when I morphed, I had straight, luscious hair, or it would be like the continuity did not match. But we did it like one day, and so someone asked me that, and I was like, obviously I remembered the main one, but I didn't remember like all the different versions of Zord combinations. So crazy. Oh, so what person do you think had a good question? Is there anybody that stuck out to you? I don't know. No, because what we do is we were gonna. Well, let me ask. Hold on.
If you'd like to visit the concession stand, it's located in the other building.
So we always get asked a lot of the same questions, a lot, and it's cool because it's the most popular questions, and that's what you guys want to know. But there was one person here who asked me something that I don't normally get asked to do, and because of that, you win a prize for the best question.
Yeah.
And it's a Aisha autograph poster. There you go. I've never had to sing Angel Grove High since that day. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
That's pretty cool.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's perfectly fine.
You guys we gotta make a Zordon character. Oh, we can't have him? Oh, how cool. You still have that?
That thing is
Nice.
26 years old. Oh my
Well,
God.
Mom was a fan too, so that's really cool. She kept all your stuff.
I'm sure my mom got sick of hearing about it at some point.
Yeah. So, guys, please go and say hi to us if we haven't met you already. We'd love to meet
Come by the
you.
tables.
We only have a couple hours left here at the con. We'd love to say hello. We'd love to, meet you, talk to you, and even just say goodbye. So, thank you so much, Waco.
Absolutely.
Thank
Give a
you.
huge hand for these guys. Thank them for coming out. They saved the planet numerous times. We could be living in the United States of Zed and Rita right now, or being mind controlled by Evan News or something. Be sure to stop by their booth, get an autograph, get a picture. Thanks all to KWTX and to the CW for sponsoring all of this.